So police, the army and in some cases private security are continuing to monitor whether people are breaking the COVID-19 lockdown regulations. Several taxis have been impounded for overloading and operating outside the stipulated hours in Freedom Park, Johannesburg. 1,585 people are infected and 9 have died across the country so far. Our Tsecho Khachomuahi joins me now from Freedom Park in Johannesburg. Tsecho, when I was driving here, I saw quite a lot of people on the road as well. You're traveling with the police, looking out for anybody who's transgressing the lockdown rules and regulations. How's it going so far?
Well, Tony, going very interestingly, I must say, a lot of taxis are being impounded in this particular area of Freedom Park. And this is, of course, because they were traveling before the stipulated time. We do know that taxis they can actually travel between 4 and 8 p.m. with a grace period until about 9 p.m. But there are so many taxis on this road and within this area that were traveling just before 4 o'clock. And those passengers have been disembarked and the drivers have been arrested and taxis have been impounded. So JMPD, together with SAPS and the Gauteng National Police, also just the National Traffic Police as well, they're all here trying to ensure that everybody sticks to the rules and the regulations of the lockdown. A big thing as well that was mentioned by law enforcement, Tony, is the issue that people are just walking around as if nothing is happening and that as if coronavirus has not hit the country so terribly. But to give us details about their operation today, what has been done, and just a message really to South Africans, I'm joined by the JMPD Chief, David Tembe. Chief, thank you so much for your time. Always a pleasure to speak to you. So just give us details about your operation today. There's a lot of taxis that have already been impounded.
Yeah, we started at about 10 o'clock this morning. We're at Grasmere, Golden Highway. But we got a complaint that there are car wash that is being done here at this area of Eldorado Park. And we have to be here to ensure that we deal with it. We have got many officers. Others are manning the intersection. Others are manning the entrances to this area. But then others are going inside to ensure that we close and educate and tell people to stay indoors. Because as you can see in the taxis, they are sitting, they are in fact, I won't say overloaded, but they are about 10, 15, others 16 in a taxi, no mask, nothing has been done about it. And these taxis have been here since 3:30. They've been driving through here 3:30, full loaded. What about the compliance of saying 4 o'clock, that's when you can start loading? But we talk to them, we say they must obey the law, but then there are rules here. We arrest the taxi driver. We take the vehicle. We impound the vehicle. That's what we must do. But the public must give us full support to ensure that everybody is safe. It's not a joke that over 1,500 people are affected. We can't wait and see things happen. We are law enforcement, we'll enforce it. I'm with the CEO of RTNC, so it shows that everybody is involved here to deal with these issues.
Now, Chief, we do know that it does seem, though, that non-compliance is happening just in certain areas. Will you guys be going throughout most of the areas within the country as much as you possibly can at this time?
Yes, I mean, we are here in Johannesburg, but with the CEO, we'll be able to cover Gauteng. The CEO covered the whole of South Africa with National Traffic Police, probably because we are all law enforcement. We work together with SAPS JMPD. We'll cover as much as we can, but we need to have that element of surprise because people relax. They think that today is Sunday, we are going to church, we won't be doing our work. We are here, we'll be there any given time.
So that's really a warning to people that are not complying with the rules and regulations. What is your message to people that are just walking around? We've seen a lot of people that are walking, some people are jogging because they just think that this is not important.
Yes, there are some other people, especially on the WhatsApp, some others on the Twitter, who says this is not a black thing. They must understand it affect each and every one of us. As long as you are here, it will affect you. But I've seen some others that they really try their best to comply. And we must congratulate them and say, keep it up, and let's preach the gospel of saying that stay indoors, stay safe.
Now, just quickly, Chief, what's then going to happen with these passengers, the people that have now been taken out of the taxis?
Yes, this one we're organizing transport for them. We'll get other taxis to come here and ensure that that taxi is complying, and then it will take them to their destination. We have made sure that the drivers that has been arrested have refunded them so that they can continue with their journey. It is our responsibility to ensure that they reach their destination.
All right. Thank you so much,
Okay,
Chief David Tembe. He's, of course, from the JMPD, just giving us details about the way forward and what will happen. This is exactly what the MEC of Transport, when I spoke to him, Jacob Mamabolo, saying that the law must take its course, the full might of the law must take its course against those that are non-compliant, and we're just seeing it today, Tony.
Tsecho, just curiously, where are most of these passengers going to, the people that are actually using the taxis?
Well, interestingly enough, most of these passengers were actually going back home. So some of them went to various areas to go and get groceries, and some of them were then just going back home, Tony. We do know that there was someone that was ill in one of these taxis, so she was on her way to a hospital. And we do know that there are also there was a lady here that's holding a baby, and I'm just going to request my colleague Gift to just show you this particular lady who's holding a baby, and just people that are sick here and just standing in the queue. And it really is just an issue. Some of them were going to the hospital or going to a clinic, and some of them were just going back home just to, get a few groceries or just get a few essentials. And that was what we were being told by some of the people that we've spoken to.
All right, thank you so much, Tsecho Moahi there, reporting for us in Freedom Park. She's moving around with the JMPD. You can see they're looking for anybody who's not complying with the travel requirements at the present moment. Now,